Hello and welcome everyone to Southeast Iowa Union Sports Talk for April 25th, 2023. I am your co-host, Andy Kretzinger. My other co-host, Hunter Muller, rocking the Hawkeye stuff like I am. I'm kind of looking like you today. You usually wear the hoodie in.
Yeah, I know.
But I had to go hoodie today. I'm actually wearing a Bears shirt underneath this. I was going to say, unlike somebody in Green Bay, we show up where we're supposed to be. We'll never leave you guys.
All I gotta say is you guys better beat the Pack this year, because if you don't, then it's gonna be real bad.
Yeah, that's all right. If we don't, then I'll just the narrative will just be that Aaron Rodgers was never that good. So I win the narrative no matter what. Nikki Brackett's Nick Steffens, who we still have to get a championship belt for. Oh wait, did I mention last week that they had a wrestling thing in Ottumwa that we could just go? We can just go win one, just go win a belt and then give it to Nick. Yeah, that's right. That's more for. I'm pretty sure I talked about that last week. We're all here getting ready to talk some high school spring sports, a little bit of college as well. If you're watching this year on Washington Live, Fairfield Live, or Mount Pleasant's Facebook, on Washington Live's YouTube or Spotify, or you are just tuned in right on our Twitter page because we post the YouTube link at Union Sports Page. And we're going to start with a little soccer again today. What do you think about that, Hunter?
Yeah, it was been a busy couple of weeks here of soccer as the season continues to kind of truck along, and once again had some teams in action last night.
Yeah, for sure. And I one of my favorite. I'm in a little mourning today because one of my favorite stats to throw out there about this Mount Pleasant Washington girls soccer rivalry is no more after 7 straight overtime games between Mount Pleasant and Washington, dating all the way back to the last time before yesterday that they ended in regulation was 2018, May 10th, 2018.
That's so crazy.
Yeah, that is crazy.
That's so crazy.
4 years of overtime games came to an end yesterday. Mount Pleasant 3-0 over Washington in girls soccer. I was on Mount Pleasant's senior night, and lone senior Ellie Manning scored 2 goals last night, and after the game, she said, we could have shoehorned that into the new studio if I would have thought about that yesterday. I should have sent the clip to Nikki, but she mentioned that, 4 years, so every single time she's ever played Washington in soccer until yesterday was an overtime game. So, as I said, Ellie Manning 2 goals last night. Haley Parrott had a goal for Mount Pleasant, and it would look a little different. Mount Pleasant had a little bit of a step up on Washington, which was different than the first game, of course, went to Washington and penalty kicks. First game was back and forth. Every game has been back and forth, and so it's the first time in a while that one team was able to outshoot the other. Eli Heaton just had to make 1 save and goal last night for the Panthers. Allie Medley had to make a few for Washington. Made a couple of big ones, and in fact, Ellie could have had a hat trick, but a deflected ball off of the wall and a direct kick, Medley made a really good save on. It was Washington's struggling a little bit to score goals, which the SEC girls slate kind of some low scoring games lately.
Yeah.
I've noticed. So that's it. By the way, in that 7 overtime game series, was Washington won 4 of those. Mount Pleasant had won 3, but we're back into it's over. We're back into the regulation streak. We'll see how long you see if the regulation streak can hit 7.
Yeah, maybe we'll be back at OT next time, huh?
Yeah, maybe. So I haven't seen the I guess the brackets. I guess that Washington's probably I guess it's 3 classes, so Washington and Mount Pleasant could play again later. But and then on the boys' side, you got a little boys report for us. So it looks like another Demon W on the boys' side.
Yeah. The result was flipped for the squads in this one. Obviously, we've talked about Washington kind of being in that upper echelon of teams in the SEC right now, along with the 4 Madisons and obviously Burlington as well. The first time Mount Pleasant and Washington met, it was a 5-0 victory for the Demons. This time pretty much the same 5-1 victory for Washington in this one. Really the Demons accompanied some great offensive attack with some great defense, which is what they've been good at all season long. The Demons got on the board from an Edwin Cortez goals. A name we've called a lot for Washington this season is Emmanuel Raimundo. He's pretty much all over in this game. He assisted Cortez's first goal. 6 minutes later, Raimundo hit Freddie Aguilar for a goal. And after the first half, it was 2-0, just 2-0 for the Demons. In the second, Mount Pleasant was able to get a goal off a pass from a couple freshmen doing a little 1-2 game. Noah Lang hit Jackson Newman for what would be the Mount Pleasant's lone goal, and then Washington just kind of kept piling it on. Lane Schrock got a goal, another assist by Raimundo on that one, and then Raimundo ended the game with a pair of goals himself. One assisted by Will Gilchrist Brock. And then, so that kind of ended the game 5-1. Just the Demons being a little too much for the Panthers in this one.
Yeah.
For Washington, Gilchrist Brock finished with 5 saves and goal. Rudy Ruiz-Mata had 9 saves for Mount Pleasant. Excuse me. Washington moves to 6-1 on the season. Mount Pleasant drops to 3-5, and looking ahead, Washington will head to Fort Madison. Obviously Fort Madison's rated number 3.
Big one.
They're 9-0. Last time the two met, it was just a 1-0 game. And then Mount Pleasant's going to take on Keokuk. They're 2-6 right now. Double check. I believe that's one of Mount Pleasant's 3 wins there. So good opportunity for Mount Pleasant to get back on track there in the winning column.
For sure. I think Mount Pleasant might have lost that game earlier this year.
Really?
I think it was one that we expected them to win against Keokuk, but I believe they lose that one in overtime. They lost that one 3-2. So that'll be a good game to see.
Good opportunity though
where they are.
Get back on track.
Yeah, it is. That'll be a good one to see where they are compared to. They've obviously just played Washington a little bit closer the second time around. That's the beginning of the second slate through for Mount Pleasant, and Washington conference championship wise, they need this one against Fort Madison because Washington and Burlington are both 2 games back right now at Fort Madison. So Bloodhounds closing in on the conference championship, and you had the stories on the Fairfield Fort Madison games, and the boys one surprised me a little bit with how well Fort Madison was able to handle that one.
Yeah, and Fort Madison kind of on both sides right now. On the girls' side, Burlington, Washington are right there with them.
Yep.
On the boys' side right now, kind of Fort Madison's kind of running away with it right now. Obviously, Washington can make a huge, has huge implications if they pick up a win on that one on Thursday. But for Fairfield last night, tough outs on both sides. Fort Madison downed the Trojans 6-0 in the boys' game. Obviously, Fairfield have been playing some good balls.
Yeah, really good
back-to-back wins coming into this one. Fairfield girls still struggling. Younger team still looking for their first win, 0-8 after a 10-0 loss to Fort Madison. The boys tried to hang on for as long as they could. The Panther boys obviously mentioned Fort Madison rated number 3, I believe they're 1A, right? Or they
in 3A.
3A.
Yeah.
They are still in 3A for that.
3A. Yeah.
But Fort Madison went on to score 4 goals in the opening half. Obviously finished with the 2 in the second half there for the 6-0 loss. So just a tough out for the Trojans against a good Burlington
Fort Madison team
squad. And Fairfield will get a chance to get back on track against Burlington 5-3 on Thursday, and that was a great game the first time around.
Yep.
Just a 1-goal loss for Fairfield.
I was there in that game. That would be a big one for them too. That was probably one they really want because they look like they could tie it up earlier this year, right at the end, and they just kind of ran out of time against B-Town.
Right. And then on the girls' side, really it was just the Fairfield's kind of potent attack being just too much for
Fort Madison for Fairfield.
Yeah, I keep messing up that.
Oh, they're F's.
But Fort Madison braided Fairfield with 31 shots in the game, 18 of which were on target. They scored 7 goals in the first half, and then obviously tacked on 3 more in that second period to end the game prematurely at 10-0. 10-0 there. So as I mentioned, Fairfield sitting at 0-8. They're going to take on Burlington, who's 5-2 right now. So for Fairfield right now, just trying to just improve and kind of I guess just kind of improve every game and just kind of bring those scores a little bit lower and try to get some points on the board there.
Yeah, for sure. Well, and you so on the girls' side now, it's Fort Madison 6-0. Burlington 6-0, Fort Madison 5-1, and then Mount Pleasant, Washington, both just kind of hanging on there 3-3, so they both have a mathematical chance, but we'll need a lot to change. We mentioned the rankings. I was about to put the rankings in the paper because I think I said on the show last week. It's like, the next rankings come out. We want to make sure to get in the newspaper because we missed the last one. But we're out. Southeast Iowa Union is out of the rankings.
Hillcrest Academy and Washington both.
Yeah, both dropped out for now. I mean, Washington just got another win, so we'll see what what has to happen for them. Hillcrest had only played a few games early in the year, but so yeah, I think you're going to see some soccer tonight, right? A
little Mid Prairie and Highland.
little Mid Prairie and Highland. We don't get out to the small school games as much as we'd like to because of all the stuff that we're at.
So many big schools.
So I'm glad that we'll be able to see those guys. And Highland's looking for their first win in that one tonight. And then Mid Prairie 4-4. Mid Prairie's playing a little hotter than they were at the beginning of the season. So we'll see how that works out. And that's all we got for the your soccer report. We've got a lot coming up after this A lot coming up.
Big track week.
After this break, we got a big track meet. We're going to talk about the Southeast Conference Golf Championship regular season.
Yep.
Got wrapped up this week, and so we got 2.5 minutes. So stick in there, and we'll see you soon.
Federation Bank is a locally owned bank providing award-winning customer service. We believe that we are more than just a federation of banks, but a federation of communities, serving Brighton, Richland, Wellman, and Washington, Iowa. Federation Bank's highly skilled staff is here to make sure you are able to accomplish your personal and professional goals, whatever they may be. Federation Bank, your family bank.
Hospice isn't a place, it's a type of care that focuses on living. Servicing a 7-county area, the Hospice of Washington County staff of nurses, social work, hospice aides, spiritual and grief support, volunteers, music and massage therapists are able to provide free end-of-life care where the patient lives. We write wills, give consent for organ donation, but rarely is there a plan for what we would want the final phase of our lives. At Hospice of Washington County, we encourage our patients to be in charge of their healthcare decisions while maintaining quality of life.
At the Capper Auto Group, we put our customers' needs first and understand that everyone is as different as the vehicle they select. We offer new Ford, Chevrolet, Buick, GMC, Jeep, Chrysler, Dodge, and Ram vehicles in a friendly environment that puts you in the driver's seat. When it comes to service, we maintain factory-trained technicians and competitive pricing. The Capper Auto Group still believes that service after the sale provides the best customer experience. Come see the Capper experience for yourself.
Tammy takes the time and has the personal interest in each one of us. I don't worry about what's going to happen because I know my policy is taken care of.
She pulls what I need and puts it together, which is the program I get from her.
Every year she calls around September or so and says, there's changes again, and I'm going to do the best thing for you. It's been perfect. She does a great job.
At 5 Star Community Credit Union, we want to help you lead a better life. We offer competitive rates and convenient appointment times for all kinds of loans: auto, recreational vehicles, home equity, line of credit, holiday, and personal loans. We make it easy to build your credit and enjoy the good things in life.
We invite you to join 5 Star Community Credit Union. We are community-minded and member-focused. Come visit our locations in West Burlington and Mount Pleasant or online at 5starcu.org. Federally insured through the NCUA, Equal Housing Lender.
5 Star. Hello and welcome back to 5 Star Community Credit Bank. No, to Southeast Iowa Union Sports Talk. I was watching our own show and I got a little confused. You are watching us live or on tape record on Washington Live's YouTube and Spotify, Washington Live, Fairfield Live, and Mount Pleasant Live's Facebook. Sometimes I bring up our show on my computer and watch it as we go, but it's a little delayed, and then I distract myself, especially when the camera's on you guys, then I really get distracted. But, I had a surprise. This has nothing to do with sports talk, but I got a notification right before I came over here that it was time to be real. So you guys want to be real with me?
Let's see it. Let's hear it.
Yeah, I got Be Real now, so I have to take it. It's a late one, but I only have one friend on this thing. But this is how you really get in with the kids. This is how we get the demographic, the younger demographic right here.
Well, I didn't post mine. So.
You take the picture. You're on Be Real?
Yeah.
Oh, we're gonna add each other after this.
Oh my goodness.
Hunter, you better get Be Real before
I don't
the
even
show
know what
begins.
you're talking about, to be honest.
It's like an app that it's for younger people than myself that it just tells you when to take a picture during the day, and then you have to be real. You got 2 minutes to do it on time, but I did it late today for you guys, so you're welcome. Anyway, we are talking a little spring sports, and we have a little bit of golf to talk about. Of course, Andy, did you pull up your golf sheet that you were supposed to read off of?
Uh-oh.
No. But I'll do a little talking as I do that. So the Southeast Conference golf slate was finished off kind of yesterday. So they do it in a regular season deal. They just started out like last year maybe, where instead of just waiting for the conference to have all the conference teams come and play, they all travel around to each place in the Southeast Conference. That doesn't include Burlington for boys-wise because they're in fall. But so what they do is they play at each course, and then they have kind of a running tally. This year they didn't need much of a running tally because the Washington Demons, Hunter, are the kings and queens of the Southeast Conference golf world, right? Yep. So I'm going to get us started with, I needed more out of you than the yep there. No, here it is. I'm ready for it. I got the boys' results here. They played in Fort Madison last night. Washington. Now the Washington boys had won every SEC regular season meet up until last night, so the team race wasn't exactly up in the air anymore, but the perfect regular season was up in the air, and Washington by 5 strokes, 163 for the Demons, and a little better than Fairfield's 168. Fairfield got second, and Mount Pleasant 183 for third, so a 1-2-3 finish for the Union area Golden Triangle teams, whatever you want to call them. Roman Roth shot a 38 last night. He did end up as the first place overall golfer in the SEC regular season when they tallied all of the results together. And Rajan Roth was 2 strokes behind him, and he's just a couple strokes behind him in the standings. They went 1-2. So that's 38 for Roman and 40 for Rajan, and Drew Conrad 41. Isaac Vetter, who was playing as the 6th man for Washington, gets that 4th score at 44. And then you got Teigmeyer at 46 and Luke Beanblossom at 47 for the Demons. So they finish off the sweep. For Fairfield, Sam Wheaton shot a 40. Max Wheaton and Austin Lisk both shot a 41. So you see how close they are to those top Washington golfers. A little bit of a gap, not too big of one, but Mal Christensen shot a 40. No, sorry, Dev Eisner shot a 46. Landon Nordruff shot a 47 and Al Christensen shot a 50. It's on a line here, and my eyes are struggling to like go like this to figure out who shot what. Mount Pleasant was led last night by Nate Dismang. Usually Nick Matheny's at the top of that list, but Dismang got his teammate yesterday. Dismang shot a 43, and we have Reese Kaufman 44. And Ben Mader and Nick Matheny both shot a 48 for those 4 scorers. And then Grant Willem ended up at 59. Isaac Zillman, 66 for the Panthers. That was a mouthful. But basically, every single week we come on here and tell you that Washington got first, Fairfield got second, and Mount Pleasant got third. And guess what? When they tallied all of the scores for the whole year, Washington got first, Fairfield got second, and Mount Pleasant got third. There is a conference tournament later in Fort Madison. So it's not like it's not like this is it. They just wanted, a big reason they did this was because the all-conference team was just the top like 6 or 7 in the conference tournament. They're like, well, that's not fair. If you're playing good all year, you don't make all-conference because of one tournament. So that's the reason they do this end, because they can all, hang out together for longer, because everyone in the SEC is buds. Yeah, good friends. So how did the girls one end up?
Well, on the girls' side, similar to your result there with the boys. Obviously, Washington has won every SEC conference golf outing this season. Much was the same in Burlington last night. In the final SEC meet of the season, I guess I should say, besides the conference title meet, or the conference meet. The Demons were winners with a low of 166. That was 23 strokes less than runner-up Keokuk in that one. So Fairfield followed with the 4th place finish, shooting 193, and Mount Pleasant did not post a team score due to only having 3 golfers. Demons' highest individual on the day, McKenna Conrad, once again. She's kind of led them all year.
Yep.
Kaylin Long jumped in there. Adeline Long, I believe, picked up a nice one once, too. She shot a 39, 1 stroke off the lead, off a winner, I should say, there. Teammate Mallory Johnson with a real nice showing. Just 1 shot behind with the 40. Adeline Long, a 43. Kaylin Long Carter at a 44. And Macy Williams had 46. And Haley Mitchell shot a 48 for Washington. For Fairfield, Viola Welsh, obviously Trojans #1 all season, shot a 40 in the meet. That was good enough to tie for third. Maya Toohill shot a 47. Macy Rayburn and Sarah Kretz both ended with 53. Kay Petit totaled 54, and Maggie Rayburn had a 55. For Mount Pleasant, number one Kylie Walderbach obviously led with a 54. Ashlyn Bunchamp had a 59, and Elena Holkamp finished with the 60 in the meet. So, Washington sitting on top right now. Has been all season. So, season's coming down. It's winding down pretty quick here. So, looking forward to the postseason and seeing what the golfers can do. Yeah,
I was gonna say because of the way they do it, Fairfield gets second or third a lot, and the girls races, and they always lose to Washington, who's as usual a state championship contender this year. But Fairfield girls did win the Mid Prairie Golden Hawk invite earlier. Last Thursday. So the Trojan girls got a championship under their belt. That is one drawback.
And Viola Welsh was the medalist.
And Viola Welsh was the medalist in that. So that's one drawback for how they all play against each other, is if there's one dominant team, then some of those teams that are also really good don't get their wins, their trophies, and their medals and stuff. So had to shout out Fairfield girls for winning that meet last week.
Mm-hmm.
And then I forgot what we were talking about. Golf. There we go.
Yeah.
We already talked about it because I already did mine. Yeah. I just noticed on our schedule, by the way, that I have on here that we were going to talk about track first.
Yeah. And then I saw that too, but I was just rolling with you.
Once I started being real, then I started being wrong because I went to golf instead. Want to mention to follow us on Twitter and follow southeastiowaunion.com this weekend, because I will be on Friday and Saturday anyway at the Drake Relays. We'll have photogs there on Thursday as well, because we've got some early stuff going on at Drake, but we have a bunch of kids that could potentially win. We've got qualifiers.
I mean, Mount Pleasant's Will Davidson qualified in like 3 events.
3 events, 100, 110.
Hurdles, 400 hurdles. Isaac Jarrell in the shot put.
Yep.
Also the Panthers 4x1, girls 4x1. Washington has a bunch. Braden Hartman, obviously, one of the favorites too, or one of the top throwers, shot put wise.
Yes, and that'll be a Thursday thing, and he's coming in with the second. He hasn't been throwing. I think he's cleared 58 feet. He hasn't thrown that in the last few meets, so maybe saving up for this Drake Relays. But he's comes in second of the qualifiers in that one.
Elijah Morris, obviously fastest 400 time in the state. Boys 4x1. Josh Anderson, the 400 meter wheelchair. Fairfield girls 4x1. New London, obviously, Bowden Pickle in the 100, and Cade Benjamin high jump defending 1A state champ there.
And Cade, I believe, was his high this year is 6'7", and I think that there's been like one or two 6'10s, but he's I think tied for third in the state. So that's another one on Thursday. So those ones, Hartman and Benjamin will be kicking us off pretty quick.
Yeah, and we got WMU, obviously Gabe Hemsworth in the 400 hurdles, Cam Buffington long jump.
Yep.
Columbus boys, Tristan Miller in the 110 hurdles and high jump. Obviously, he was, I believe, 4th in 1A last year. And then Caden Amagon, obviously, the 100. And they also qualified in the 4x1, obviously.
All those sprints.
Yeah, 4x1, one of the fastest 4x1s in the state.
Yep.
And yeah, Fairfield, I said that, I believe.
Yeah, we were reiterating the 4x1s. And then we've got obviously Daniel Hostetler from Mid Prairie will be one of the favorites in one of the contenders in the distance event. She'll also be running on Thursday is the 3,000. Then she'll run the 1,500. Yeah. So I want to get those Thursday things out of the way, because as you guys, well, some people know, we'll be there on Thursday, or we'll have results from Thursday, Friday, and Saturday on Monday's paper, because our Thursday night results don't go into Friday's paper because of the print schedule. So if you're looking for Drake Relays results, you will be looking on Monday, or on the week over the weekend. We'll have it a little earlier. So I'm excited to go back up there. I'm going alone, because you are going where, Hunter?
The NFL draft.
The NFL draft in Kansas City. So I'm going. Oh, and then I was going to say before we went to commercial, before I go to Drake, I'll also be covering. This is bittersweet here. Iowa Wesleyan's last home athletic meet is on Thursday.
Wow.
They've got a softball doubleheader against Hannibal LaGrange University. Weirdly enough, my alma mater. That starts at 1. So, and then I was talking to Slayton Swords at KLJ, the sports director there, about how the conference that Iowa Wesleyan plays in, technically Iowa Wesleyan's you can make an argument they're in first place because they're 4-0, undefeated in the conference, but they haven't played that many conference games. So I don't exactly know if they'll make the conference tournament or not to decide, whether or not that's the end of the season or whatnot. But home wise, after however many years of Iowa Wesleyan athletics, I'll be there to help them lock the door on home events.
It's kind of sad.
That is very sad. So we'll see if they can pick up a win or two. I watched them in the CAC Classic. They've been playing their best softball of the year, actually. Wesleyan has
really well.
I saw them at the CAC Classic pick up a couple comeback wins over Crowley's Ridge. Those are the only 4 games that they took place in Mount Pleasant they were actually able to get. So in the CAC, I've talked about this before, but it's teams from all over the country. And so they have to come all together in one area to play all the conference games. And they just do like 3 or 4 weekends, but a couple of them got rained out or whatever. And so they didn't get as many conference games. So Wesleyan was set to join the American Midwest Conference next year. Obviously, we won't be doing that, but Hannibal LaGrange, a member of the American Midwest Conference. So a lot of different things in there. And some things we'll be watching for Wesleyan, by the way, is where the coaches and stuff end up. Jordan Ashton, men's basketball coach, ended up at William Woods, an American Midwest Conference member. So it's kind of funny how that all worked out. But so I'll be at Drake this weekend while Hunter's at the draft. Hopefully talking to a couple of the draftees for our show, and then we'll just put it up here.
I'll talk.
Just take some phone video.
Yeah.
I'm sure we have the rights.
Yeah, it'll be all right.
Yeah, it'll be all right. They're not going to come after us.
No, they won't even know.
No, they won't know.
Until we blow up.
Because we had all those awesome draft interviews. Just run on whoever gets first, just run up on the stage and do your interview there.
You gotta be smart.
Yeah, they'll probably let you in for the rest of it. Just make sure we get that first pick. We're going to go to commercial, and then when we come back, we got a little bit of tennis. I was at some tennis last night. Yeah. So stay tuned, tennis fans. We will be back in 2.5 minutes.
Protection is important, especially when you're talking about your dreams, which is why we're going to keep you covered with plans that can save you up to 23% when you bundle your home and auto. That's protection.
Family owned and operated by Andy and Sarah Ross, Ross Auto has been your vehicle repair and maintenance headquarters since 1935. We specialize in all makes of cars and light-duty trucks. With our variety of available services, let us help you keep rolling and your vehicle operating efficiently. Services include general auto repair, alignments, brakes, fuel injection, and more. Schedule your appointment today at 319-653-5656. That's 319-653-5656. Bring the kids and share the memories from steam engines, antique cars and trucks, tractors, gas engines, and horses. Maybe your memories are of great food from the North Village to the Log Village, or going to one of the amazing concerts. This is the place where memories are made. Make plans now to enjoy the history of the past at the 2023 Midwest Old Threshers Reunion, August 31st through September 4th in Mount Pleasant. Visit oldthreshers.com for more details.
Unbelievable amount of devastation. I've never seen anything like it.
We had a beautiful barn that was gone in 20 minutes.
Farm Bureau stepped up right away and said, hey, we got you and we'll be there for you.
We were taken care of. Now we could get on to repairing and rebuilding.
I tell everybody about Farm Bureau.
We're fortunate to say we have good coverage with good people doing it.
Contact Farm Bureau agents Tony Starr and Mike Welcher in Mount Pleasant today.
Oh no. Welcome back. Sorry, I had a moment there where I realized that I X'd out our show on my screen there. I like to watch it. I was watching us and I X'd it out to look something else up for the next segment.
Watching us while we're talking.
Yeah, that's why I got distracted earlier. I was watching us while we were talking. It fascinates me that we're a couple seconds, that this is like 1 second behind what real life is. What was I talking about? Oh, you're watching Southeast Union Sports Talk Live, and we were talking about something during the break that I wanted to bring up. Now I forgot. Oh, now I remember. This has nothing to do with anything, but you said, so we were talking about Be Real, and my name on there is Real Andy K. So back in the old days of the Twitter.com, celebrities would put the word real in front of their names. That way people couldn't fake them out. And then they came out with the blue check mark system. And then did you guys see they basically purged all the blue check marks the other day?
And did you see Elon Musk paid for some
random people, didn't he?
Like LeBron's and...
Yeah, LeBron's.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like a handful of celebrities got check marks.
But Kobe. He bought Kobe.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Oh, that's... What are you doing, Elon?
Yeah.
I mean, I guess... Well, I don't know. I guess he's just well-deserved. I don't know how to react to that. That's a weird weird amount of information to come through my brain for me to formulate what I should say in response. But anyway, so I shouldn't have brought up the blue check marks. Why you got to bring up the blue check marks, Andy? We're supposed to be talking about high school tennis. And then, you know what happens is we talk during the commercial break about just random stuff. And then I forget what I'm supposed to be doing for, I was like,
oh, man.
I don't have my tennis thing pulled up.
You want me to go through mine?
Yeah, you go fast. You got to see Maharishi. What did you think of Maharishi last week?
They're looking real good.
Yeah, because
the girls, they're undefeated. They stay perfect. I mean, they're 5-0 now. They took on Fairfield. Obviously, a little battle of. I guess you got Battle of Fairfield. My story.
Is there a nickname for Fairfield? Like Keokuk's the Gate City. Some people call Fort Madison the Penn City, and Mount Pleasant technically is the Iris City, but no one calls it that anymore.
I have no clue. I had to look, but
I don't think there is one. Anyway, go ahead.
But anyway, on the Pioneers got the better of the Trojans on both the boys and the girls side. Maharishi won 6-3 on the boys' side and 8-1 on the girls' side. For Fairfield on the boys' side, the lone singles victory came from Jace Haynes. He defeated Jayada Wegman 7-3, 7-4, and 6-4 there in the number 2 match. And then the Trojans got a pair of victories in doubles as oh gosh. I lost my place.
You lost your place. There we go.
Garrett Flanagan
and
Hanes. Hanes.
Our
winners 9-8, 12-10, and then they also got a victory in the final number 3 doubles match from Ethan Cass and Rylan Anderson. They won that match 8-6. And then on the girls' side, the Trojans win came from where is it? Came from Jatika Adkiari, and then I'm getting sidetracked because on my story I have their names as last name. They just their last name.
Oh yeah, you have to scroll up. To see.
And then I have to.
That's why I bring up Varsity Bound when I have to remember.
So that's why it's throwing me off there while I'm trying to read them. So. Where is it? Emma Wendland and Jatika Adkiari got a win in the in doubles 8-3 for the Trojans, 1 win and that 8-1 loss against Maharishi. So
there you go.
Long story short, Maharishi playing some really good tennis on both sides. As I mentioned, the girls are undefeated. The boys are sitting at 3-1.
Yes, and do you know who that one loss was to?
Mount Pleasant.
I do because I was there for a little bit. Mount Pleasant, they are rolling along here in boys tennis. As I said, they beat Maharishi 5-4. That was without Jake Insminger, their number 2 player. So
he's been. I feel. Is he like dealing with an injury or something? Because I feel like he was there.
Was he there? He might have been on vacation
season, and then he was there, and then he wasn't. So I didn't know.
I don't know. That's a good question. I just always assume vacation during the spring.
It could be.
I don't know, or whatever.
Elliot Cook's been playing well though. But
yeah, he has. Well, and Elliot Cook's been playing with Owen Vancicla, the number 1 doubles a little bit, and I think that was just there's mixing stuff up, seeing who's playing better. So that was last week when they beat Maharishi, but this week the Mount Pleasant boys 9-0 against Fort Madison. Owen Vancicle, they're basically, I'm just naming off their varsity roster right here to say who won. Owen Vancicle 6-1, 6-3, Jake Insminger 6-2, 6-0. By the way, I'm going in order of the ranked matches here, so we're at number 3. Elliot Cook 6-0, 6-2, Phoenix Watson 6-1, 6-0, Tim Cam a perfect 6-0, 6-0, and then Fort Madison only had 5 players, so Lou Schimmelfigen did not have to play. He got a 1-0 forfeit. Doubles, Van Sickle and Insminger were playing back together. In the number 1 doubles match, 6-2, 6-2. Cook and Watson, 6-0, 6-1 in the number 2 doubles match. And number 3 was forfeited. So a quick 9-0 win for Mount Pleasant. And they are 7-0, a perfect 7-0. So I need to look at their schedule, see if there's anybody to trip them up before districts and stuff. So, and then on the girls' side, Mount Pleasant and Fort Madison have played twice this year. Panthers only got 1 from Fort Madison last time around, but yesterday were able to take 3 from Fort Madison. Still lost 6-3. Fort Madison's got really good players at the top. Actually, I think Molly Knipe, their number 1, should be the favorite for the conference championship. Just off the top of my head, thinking through players right now. So winners were Bethany Drury and Audrey Richmond. I was over there a little bit and got to watch both those games. They won. Drury won 8-1 and Audrey Richmond won 8-0 at the number 5 and number 6 singles matches. And then Drury and Richmond also won a doubles match, 8-1. So the 3 matches that they did win, they won by a lot. But then, funny enough, there wasn't any matches in the entirety of these 9. The closest match was an 8-3 loss by Ellie Sittem-Young and Eva Rounceville in the number 1 doubles match. 8-3 singles-wise, Sittem-Young lost 8-0. Mary Kate Peterson lost 8-2. Victoria Smith lost 8-0, and Eva Rounceville lost 8-2. So there we go. That's what I got. By the way, Rounceville also plays soccer for Mount Pleasant. They're playing at the exact same location, but she couldn't because it's against the rules to run back and forth from the soccer field to the tennis meet because she was playing tennis last night. So
yeah, and just you mentioned looking at Mount Pleasant's schedule. They've got Keokuk next, and Fairfield, then Maharishi, and then Burlington. And Maharishi is the only team that they haven't won all but one match, and I believe they 5-4.
Oh, they swept everybody else
with the last time they played Maharishi, and I believe
What about Burlington? Have they played Burlington yet?
Against Burlington, they won. I mean,
8-1.
Against Burlington and Fairfield, I think it was both. They were both 8-1, and Keokuk, I believe, was a complete sweep.
Yeah. So basically, yeah.
So Maharishi, though, looking at the past matches, Maharishi is going to be their kind of toughest.
That's going to be over at Poonch Tennis Court, isn't it? So that's going to be at Maharishi, I think.
Yes.
So that'll be a tough one.
place to play.
Yeah, tough place to play. They've got MP boys got a lot of depth.
Yeah, they do.
That's what I've noticed is that no matter how close those top matches are for the Mount Pleasant boys, as you get lower, and they've got 7-8 kids that have kind of go in and out of varsity. Yep. So they got a pretty good team over there. Could be an undefeated regular season.
Yeah, it could be.
Much like the the Washington girls golf teams. We need to have a list of undefeateds.
Yeah.
If we have a board behind me,
right on the wall.
We'll do that during. We should do that during football season. Maybe just have all of the schools undefeated.
Yeah.
And then whenever they lose, we'll strike. Yeah, take them off. There we go. Not strike them off.
Last year, Waco.
Yeah. So. Well, put a pin in that. If someone's watching this and likes that idea, make sure to remind us when it actually comes time to do it.
Because we won't.
Yeah, because we won't, obviously, since we haven't got Nikki Brackett's his championship belt yet. So that's pretty much all we got. You got any picks for the NBA tonight? I don't remember who's playing. Golden State and Sacramento playing tonight? Our boy Keegan Murray.
I think they play on. Hold on, I'll have it up in 2 seconds.
Played a couple days ago. I watched it with my 1-year-old.
I'm gonna go Celtics ending the series over the Hawks tonight.
Celtics, got it.
I'm gonna go. I might take a hot take. I'm gonna take Timberwolves getting another one on the Nuggets.
Nice.
I kind of like that pick. And then I'm gonna say Suns down in the Clippers because Kawhi Leonard's gonna be out again.
Ooh, sir. Yeah. None of the 3 NBA games tonight. Boston's 12.5 favorites, Denver's 10-point favorites, and Phoenix is 12.5 favorites. So no close games after last night. I'm kind of a LeBron hater, so I'm still reeling from yesterday. A little tough for me to take the game last night. Stayed up. I was doing a little work, and I just kind of got if any of my stories get depressing like halfway through and like life is meaningless, it's because I was watching a Lakers game and they ended up winning.
I haven't. Funny story. I haven't, I don't really care about, LeBron or whatever, hate him. Love
You're
him,
too young.
Whatever. But, oh no.
Trust me. Until you're young to dislike him.
I used to be a Derrick Rose fan in that shot, the 3 in the corner by LeBron in the Eastern Conference semifinals, still haunts me.
I remember that.
It was game 5, I think.
Yeah.
And if the Bulls would have won, they would have for sure won the series because they would have went up 3-1. But
I know Derrick Rose had just hit a game winner right before that too.
Yeah, and then, hit that three in the corner to win the game, and that still haunts me. Not a Bulls fan, but I like Derrick Rose, and I like Derrick Rose. Like, was one of my favorite players back in the day.
Yeah.
Anyway,
back in the old days.
What I was originally stating is that I've kind of been on like the LeBron train as of late, like this playoffs, just because, well, this series, I should say, just because of Dylan Brooks, because he went to Oregon and then they've beaten Iowa.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
And he's just talking all kinds of crap, and I'm like, you Oregon duck. Like,
I didn't realize that Dylan Brooks was on that Oregon team that beat Iowa. By the way, not to make excuses. This is how my brain can pull an excuse off. Well, I'm going to just say he was. My brain can pull an excuse out as fast as I can, and the only reason that they won that is because they got to buy. Remember, they got to buy the first round because of the COVID.
Yeah.
Because the team they were going to play got COVID, so then they literally didn't have to play a game before they played Iowa.
I can't remember if he was on that team.
We were number 2 seed that year.
He might have been.
I'm just going to say it. I'm just going to say he was.
Oh, well, he was a part of the Oregon program. You can count it.
Also, Ja Morant was hanging out with public enemy number 1 to me a few weeks ago, Angel Reese, who beat Iowa in that girls basketball, that women's basketball game.
Ja Morant.
He was hanging out with her afterwards. So I have a friend who's a big Memphis Grizzly fan, and I've already established that whenever they lose, I'm just gonna
you better
rip on him hardcore.
Stop jumping, try to jump over people, or he's gonna end up like
and, his hand is hurt. It's like, dude,
you see
man up.
Over LeBron.
Yeah, I did actually. He got hurt. He got hurt on that one, but he's got pretty much broken hand.
Yeah.
Remember when LeBron said that one time?
Yeah.
And so I don't know. Just figure it out. Anyway, that's all I got.
Yeah. That's our show.
That's our show. We'll be back next week with some Drake Relays results and soccer and getting pretty close to the postseason and and all sorts of fun and friendliness here on Southeast Iowa Union Sports Talk. So for Hunter and Nikki Brackets, we'll see you
next week.